like laundry for them. It's like a genocide type thing. But that is Trump. Africans like that, not safe for the world. They're trying to put us. No, we don't have any safety for scripture. We're not. This country has laws. And the system is going to address this. If a country like this can't handle genocide, where else in the world will it handle it? So they're having people of different ethnicities attacking us in Africa where it's from. My mother said, this has started much earlier, before she was killed. But anyway, she went to, even when Obama was president, they were trolling her. Eric Garner was trying to help her. My mother, they took Eric Garner dead. So these police are inciting, abuses, and under this Trump, it's getting more severe. Things have deteriorated so fast. As soon as this Trump became president, this year, 2025, I'm trying to get to the bathroom. That's what they do is to put me on the subway. Block me from into the elevator. And if you notice, I've been struggling with this bag. It's very heavy on my shoulders. They've been noticing I've been tilting, and they'll go and block the elevator. So this is the Utica station. They have people of different races, ethnicity, jumping me, believing this Trump would help derail an investigation. Eric Garner was trying to help understand the police when I choked him dead, and Trump became president after that. And they said they dropped the Eric Garner's case. Pretending like they forgot to file it. And we were protesting like crazy, like how do you forget to file the case? Obama instituted the investigation and they had all the evidence. And just didn't file it in court. This is what is going on. So they're abusing me like crazy, leaving the weather cold. And this Eric Adams is helping this Trump. Yeah, they say they should be profiling people like me to arrest. Say we're crazy as Africans, as homeless. I heard they just killed an African also. They ran him over with a truck and said the African was crazy. And his family member said he wasn't crazy, he was working for a sanitation truck company. And his co-workers ran him over with a truck. So they're portraying Africans as crazy. That's how they killed my mother also. They locked her up in a psych ward. Even though she wasn't crazy, another African said they locked her in a psych ward. So this is a part of a pattern of genocide. Even they try to provoke you, make you soil your pants. So please, and this Eric Adams is instructed, New York, and this Governor Oko, the New York State Department of Human Rights and New York City Department of Human Rights, they don't help me. I send videos to this Governor Oko and on Instagram, and New York City on Instagram, and Eric Adams on Instagram. So they all pretend like they don't see what is going on. People are sending videos and they comment on everything else. So the International Criminal Court needs to look into bringing criminal charges against these people. They're helping this Trump torture and abuse poor Africans. They say the new thing is to categorize an African as crazy and kill that person and then fight it in court in case anybody even cares. Normal people wouldn't care. And claim, and fight it in court, and they try to get me to soil my pants so they can have more evidence to present to the court. And the police are hunting Africans like me down. They're saying Canal Street, they're attacking the Africans selling merchandise, seized about $1 billion of the goods, So there's an ethnic component to this. This is some black Americans don't like Africans and looking for ways to retaliate for the slavery, So that elevator, why should they put it out of service? They told me to hold on, and put it out of service. You could have let me come there with them because the elevator came downstairs from upstairs. So, so they always block me from using the elevators, especially when they notice, my bag is tilted, it's heavy, to punish me. I used to have a stroller, they banned strollers. So I buy like this $40 cart, it's not strong enough to carry my bags. They say they ban men from having stroller. I used to be a man, I'm not a woman. So you have to be a woman with a baby. So they try to get me to defecate in my pants and torture me, so to make it easier for the police to accuse me of being crazy and kill me and then present evidence. So what they try to do is to put me in soiled clothing. They steal all my clean clothing. They hire black American thugs. They say they do this in a prison. Their police will hire black American thugs to beat the other prisoners dead. They say they be doing this in Rikers Island prison. Even yesterday I was applying for my recertifying for my food stamp, and this Spanish guy came on Livingston and Boyd. I was like saying, sir. So I said, I'm not a sir, I'm a woman. I did apologize. It was a muscular Spanish guy. You know, so the police are hiring ethnic thugs. My mother said Adora is part of a gang also, and was feeding my mother car antifreeze fluid, and my mother started having diarrhea and started having heart attack problem, and my mother fled from Pennsylvania to New York, and that daughter came to New York also, to the hospital my mother was in. So my mother was wondering, how did that daughter Bolanle know where she was? And sometimes I see that Bolanle also. So she said sometimes if you're part of a gang, the police will put you. My mother said she suspected that daughter is part of a gang, narcotic gang. I also see that daughter also in New York City. So she killed my mother and stole all of my mother's stuff. They went and left my mother. So my mother fled to, my mother was having symptoms for the current of freeze fluid. So that body was given her. So my mother was having diarrhea and heart attack symptoms. So my mother came to New York and was hiding in the hospital treating her condition. And that dress started showing up in the hospital, and my mother telling her. You know, and all of a sudden I'm seeing that dress show up here in New York City, anywhere I'm at. She lives in Pennsylvania, that Bolanle. And everywhere I go also, there are gang members that try to pick me up. Sometimes they punch me in my head. There was a time I used to call lawyers, and they sending me kids as I'm talking on the phone to a lawyer to punch me in my head. They did it on the Morningside. They called it one neighborhood, Morningside neighborhood in Harlem. Morningside Park in Harlem. I was talking to a lawyer saying my mother's daughter's killed my mother, friend mental illness, and she was getting to the hospital to lock her up. And some kids came and punched me in the head, and I called 911, and, you know, and they didn't arrest those kids. One of them waited behind and apologized and told me the name of the school. So I told the police the name of the school those kids were in, but never arrested them. They took my phone number, never arrested this kid. So this was good.